Hey, welcome to Mr. 38 Special. Um, I'd like to start this off by saying I had hoped I would never have to have this conversation, but the powers that be that are trying to infringe on our rights um, for guns, for gun laws, you know, man, they're wanting to go after these 9 millimeters, things like that. Anyway, look, I'm going to give you some facts, okay? You can do your own research. I got some notes here. Because to me, the problem isn't the gun, and I believe that most gun enthusiasts feel that way. As a person that's a member of the NRA and a person that served his country, I believe that I have to have this conversation, and I'm going to try to do it in a way that doesn't hurt anybody's feelings. Okay? Um, First off, I got this information from a couple of sources that are pretty legitimate. Health.ucdavis.edu and pewresearch.org. Because to me, the problem isn't the gun, the problem is the person behind the gun. Because let's face it, guns are useless. I can lay this gun down, yell at it, scream at it, throw it across the room, whatever, and tell it to shoot people. It's not going to do it without someone pulling the trigger. Or a misfire for me throwing it. So, anyway, I believe the problem is people. And this information kind of backs that up, depending on how you look at it. 39,000, this is from health.ucdavis.edu. This is in 2019. 39,707 deaths by gun in that year. Out of that, and this is what they're not telling you whenever they discuss these things, out of that, 23,941 were suicides. Suicides. That's half of the nation's deaths were suicides by a gun. They're not telling you that that's the numbers. Okay? So, it's a little over half, actually. Now, 14,861 of those in 2019 were homicides. So that's roughly 37%. Okay? That's just some. And then to back that up, on pewresearch.org, this is in 2020, gun deaths, 54% were by suicide, 43% were by murder, and 3% were by other things like a misfire or whatever. Because it's strictly gun on that one. Okay? So, if our suicide rates are that high by gun, that tells me we need to focus more on the person. When we get people that go into doctors and say they need help, we need to figure this out. We need to give them help. The states and the federal have cut funding for a lot of mental disabilities and things like that. They've cut it out. In my state where I live, there was for lack of a better term, they called it a mental health facility or whatever. They ended up closing that out and stopped funding it. So now there's people in my state that are just walking around without their medications, without any doctor's help. That stuff happens. Also, by the way, another little statistic is a lot of those murders were done by guns that were either stolen or purchased illegally somehow, some way. Okay? Now, I don't see anything that's going to slow down that kind of stuff on the illegal side of it. because illegal people are going to get what they want, however they want, and how much it costs. Okay? Instead, our powers that be keep trying to attack the law-abiding citizen like myself and you. So I highly recommend. I never wanted to join the NRA until this year, and I did. And I highly recommend, if you get a chance, to join the NRA. Help them fight the good fight. Find other things that are just as good as the NRA or better, and join them. Speak your voice. Get out there. Share your opinions. Because these are the only thing that's keeping the powers that be from taking everything over. And I'm not, like I said, I didn't want to get real political on things or anything like that. And I'm not trying to sound like a crazy man, because I don't believe that the government's totally out to get you. So what I am saying is, speak your voice. Keep your freedoms. Stop letting them take your freedoms. Other than that, also, just so you know how uneducated some of the people protesting are, Brandon Herrera, AK-47 guy, or whatnot, love his show. I'm going to put a link to his most recent video while he was at the NRA conference in Texas. He goes around and he talks to a group of the people that were protesting the guns and all that, and gets without them knowing that he was an NRA member, gets them to show how uneducated they are on this. So when you see those people, if you can do it without getting into violence and fighting, educate them, teach them, show them. That's all I got to say, man.